Hey, what's up, guys? It's the one and only Jakaya Shepherd. I am the host of the Sweat and Slay podcast. This is the first one for 2021, and I don't know about y'all, but I am so excited to enter a new year, new topics, and a new way to sweat and slay, right? So, a lot of people have been trying to make New Year's resolutions, and not just with fitness but with every aspect of their lives. So I was like, you know what? Since we got the 5 Pentagon principles, which are faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. And so since we already have those in place on our podcast, I'm like, why not start this year off with failure proof fitness goals? And so even though we are labeling this podcast for fitness goals, we are going to talk about our 5 Pentagon principles so that it can apply to every aspect of your life. And I hope that this helps you so much to move forward and move past 2020 and get into it with 2021. So, okay, y'all, if y'all have never, ever been on my podcast, then welcome. I hope that you guys get so many gems and you take home so much value from what we're about to discuss. And if you don't mind, if you have a question, if you are live on YouTube, if you are on Twitter, then it's Jakaya Shepherd on Twitter. It is Jakya Shepherd, Sheppard. Holla at your girl, okay? If you still have questions beyond the podcast, if you're just tuning in, if you're listening to the replay, and you still want to chime in on this discussion, do not hesitate to find me on social media, and please give me your feedback. If you do not mind subscribing to the podcast, and hey, tell a friend. If you got a goal friend, hey, y'all know how we do. Goal gang, stand up. It is our platform. It's our moment. It is the friends that you have in mind that are goal driven, that don't mind helping you level up in 2021, that is always there for you to make sure that they hold you accountable and lift you up when you do something amazing and when you contribute to the world with your purpose. Then, hey, invite your girlfriend into this conversation, because I know that not only are you going to be enriched by this, but hey, reach one, teach one. Make sure you go ahead and share the podcast with somebody else. So, all right, let's go. Let's talk and let's get into it, because I know a lot of people have been talking about quarantine weight. And I myself have found myself, even with plans in place. A lot of you guys, if it's your first time on here, then you will understand that I have PCOS. And on one of my first podcasts, I called it polio. It's not polio, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, okay? And so that is a women's reproductive and hormonal issue, and it makes the body unbalanced in the hormone department, and it throws everything completely off. And so a lot of women have a lot of different issues, but I have 3 out of the 4 of the symptoms. So I got a treatment plan in 2020. Okay, so going into 2021, I know that is one of the things for me that I am trying to manage and get back to my goal weight and to accomplish a lot of my fitness goals that I had to endure for several years going undiagnosed. And so I finally got a treatment plan last year. I am so excited to actually be more disciplined with my fitness and also taking my medication. That is a new thing for me. For people who do not know my background, I used to be a collegiate cheerleader. I used to be a track and field and cross country coach. So a lot of activity I used to do, my metabolism is like, like what you think you about to do? So now that I have the treatments in place, that is one thing that is new to me, is that I have to take several medications. I used to take 2 shots every 2 weeks. 2 shots a month, excuse me. And so a lot of different things that I never had to do before, as far as taking medicines, going from no medicine and going to 5 to 6 different pills, including multivitamins and vitamins and fat burning shots, like all kinds of things to make sure that I'm in the tip top shape so that I can nurture my community and nurture the purpose that I have been given and the people that I have been entrusted with their health and fitness. I want to put my best body forward and make sure that I can do so without having to worry about the setbacks of my PCOS. So, you know, you guys, when we are talking about the pitfalls of our health and fitness, I really want to first reset the conversation and to start to key in on a lot of different things that first requires us to not only prompt ourselves for good mental health, right? Because that's where it starts. It starts with our mental health. And if we are not mature in our mental health, if we are not confronting the issues that are deep down in our minds that are preventing us from being the best versions of ourselves, and that's when we start to have a spiral effect with our health, because we are a reflection of our thoughts. We are a reflection of our minds. As a man thinketh, not as a man doeth. It's as a man thinketh, so is he. So when we go into the process of trying to transform and become the better versions of ourselves every day, then we have to realize that we have to put our best mind, our mental stability, our mental clarity to the forefront before we even try to tackle the exterior of ourselves. And so I really challenge myself to not only reset my mind every day and try to be more intentional about daily habits, the small things. I have to prioritize my therapy sessions, the things that my therapist tell me to do at those therapy sessions. I have to realize that meditation is a big thing for me and my mental clarity, because when I can be intentional about what I want to manifest in my mind, then all of the fears and all of the other things that cloud my mind do not have first priority over my mental health. So I found that was big. Worship music has been the best remedy for me, because everything, no matter what you believe in or whatever, you have to believe in something. And so for me, this is not a biased promotion or claim for anyone, but as for me and my house and what I do, I have to always make sure that I put the voices of truth, of hope, of inspiration in the forefront for me. So worship music and meditation has been the first thing that I try to practice in my daily routine. And I have to make sure that I tell myself good thoughts at the beginning of the day. I start off by giving myself affirmations every day. If you are watching me on YouTube, you will be able to see my visual that I'm showing. And this is a piece of paper. And I don't know if y'all can see real good, but here, I might have to turn my... Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is a paper that I wrote at the beginning of the year. And it is almost the same quotes written on this piece of paper several times. And I'm going to read it for the viewers that are on my podcast. And it says, done is better than perfect. And that was one of the things for me when it came to my mental health, is that I felt drained a lot of times when I overtask my daily schedule. And I get upset with myself because I didn't have a perfect checkoff list every day. And so I realized that if I got most of the stuff done on my to-do list, then I should be okay with that. And I should realize that I tried my best to do what I could do for myself in that day. And if I didn't get it all done, then it's a job well done, because I did what I could do. And so I had to acknowledge that I'm not a perfectionist, that I'm not made to be a perfectionist, and that my mental should let me know, and it should affirm me that I am the best version of myself if I get stuff done. Okay? So sometimes it can't get done spotless and clean. Sometimes picking up for 5 minutes have to be best for me. Getting my emails done has to be best for me. If I didn't get them all done but got an email done, I should know that that's what's best for me. If I didn't get to work out but I moved in a way that I was pleased with and satisfied with, that I should be okay with that. So normalizing not having everything done And not being perfect at everything, but at least you got the job done, should be a job well done. So that's one thing I want to tell you guys, is that this says done is better than perfect. And then just to put a twist on this same phrase, it says done is better, period, then transitional phrase, perfect. Okay? So as you continue to get stuff done time and time again, then the result of doing those things in a consistent pattern will make things perfect. And I'm doing hand air quotations for the people that are on the audio podcast, because as a result of your hard work, persistence, consistency, and diligence, you will achieve some level, whether you like it or not, your perspective of your level of perfection in your own life. And so I just want to share that with you guys. And I also heard that on Clubhouse, and I know a lot of you guys probably don't even know what it is at this point, but you will soon. So when you hear this, you probably will be on the app. But I heard it from one of the mentors in the Clubhouse that I was in the room that I was in on Clubhouse, and he quoted that, and I actually tweeted him. And he also tweeted me back, and he told me who he got it from. And I thank the guy that made that quote, because it resonates so much with me, because that's one of my resolutions, is to not procrastinate as a result of fear of not being perfect in that area, or not doing it as I wanted to appear perfect, polished, and clean. Just get the job done, okay? So that is, along with my, that's all dealing with mindset, right? And always wanted to have stuff done perfectly, and I also have to redefine, in my mind, what healthy looks like, okay? Because that's what we're trying to achieve here with the pitfalls and with the mindset just being so, we have several different things pulling us in several different directions, you guys. The world is busy. Social media is just distracting. Our families are, consumed with so many responsibilities, but is the key for me, and should be the key for you, to make yourself the standard, the example of what a wholesome person looks like. So you have to define that, and you have to be realistic with your expectations. You have to know how much you're willing to commit to whatever it is that you're trying to get an outcome of. And sometimes we have to be okay with accepting our bodies and ourselves in that journey. And a lot of times we're not. We don't talk to ourselves the way that we should. We don't commend ourselves on small milestones. We don't congratulate ourselves for even, for even going to the point where I'm so sorry, you guys. Give me 1 second. My audio just cut off on my podcast, and I'm trying to get it back. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay. So we just have to be very mindful that there are a lot of things that could set us back, but be good to yourself and condition your mind to love on yourself, be the best cheerleader you can be, hold yourself accountable, but be gracious to yourself, forgive yourself. Like a lot of that, we hold on to unforgiveness of our own self. It's nobody else. We self-sabotage. We we condemn ourselves for eating bad, for not doing the things that we know that we should have done towards our health. We may have gotten ourselves in a really bad situation with our health, and you feel like you might not be able to recover. But give yourself the grace. Recover gracefully. That's one of the biggest things that I had to tell myself going into the new year, is to recover gracefully, y'all. And so that's what my biggest hope for you guys to do is, because we see a lot of things on social media. There's so many things that, everybody want perfected everything. Perfected body, perfected teeth, perfected career, financial portfolio. Everybody wants everything perfect. And life does not operate in perfection. And so the reality is that real life, it goes on, it gets better, it doesn't stay bad always and forever. So we have to stay positive and forgive yourself gracefully, right? Okay, so the pitfalls. Let's talk about them though. We talked about the mind, like how we have pitfalls in our mind. When it comes to fitness, a lot of people have pitfalls with the dieting aspect of it, the nutrition aspect of it, not being consistent with meal planning, not being consistent with grocery shopping. And one of the biggest things that I've heard, and a lot of people have requested that I pinpoint on, is the fact that people want to fix their children and their families different foods than they know that they should be eating. And my thing is, you know what? Sometimes you have to love hard. And when I say that, is you have to give people what you know that they need, even though they may not receive it fully at first. Okay, so a lot of kids might not like a lot of vegetables. They might tell you that they don't like the idea of you fixing them certain foods. But you know what? Broadening their horizon and encouraging them to try something at least once. Okay, diversifying their palates, making them understand that the objective of this is to make sure that when they are grown enough to make their own decisions, that you have implemented in them a system of healthy lifestyle habits that will live beyond you, live beyond them, and that they can teach other people and they can teach their children that this is a generation, this is a legacy, this is a foundation of having a healthy, happy, holistic life. And so they might not understand it now. And there are a lot of things that I never understood as a child, but as an adult, I do thank my parents for. And so that this is one of those tough love things that you have to constantly remind your families that you're not only doing this for you. You're not only in it for you. You've never really been in it for you anyways. Especially as women, we always contribute in volumes that supersede our own intent. And so even with food, you have to keep that same energy. You have to keep that same energy for your family, for your legacy. Protect your legacy and make sure that even if you do have kids, I know you want to spoil them, and it's okay to. It's okay to let them have things. We're never saying that, like compromising their happiness. But what I'm saying is make sure that you give them an opportunity, a fighting chance to understand that what you're doing is not just for you, it's for them too. And they might not understand it now, but they will love you later. And that's what I want to say about that part. So incorporate your family. Help make them cook with you. Share recipes with them. Text them encouraging things that they can find. When you pin something, inbox it to them. When you see something on Facebook that looks healthy, good, and scrumptious to the eyes, because food appeals to the eyes, y'all. Like when people post stuff on socials, when you feel like you can smell the food from the picture or from the video, like really help engage them and encourage them and fuel them and feed them and groom them into what you want them to be. You can be very influential very modestly. And so that's what I want to encourage y'all with on the family side, is to incorporate them. Don't leave them out. Don't let them don't give yourself a way out so quickly. Fight for your family to have those things, to live how you live, to model what you want for them, and to really set that foundation, okay? All right, and so with finances, y'all, a healthy lifestyle and a healthy body, everybody keeps saying how expensive it is, but you know what? Medical bills are expensive. Y'all, my medication is expensive. My visits are expensive. Like, I'm a healthy person. I'm telling y'all from an aspect of a healthy individual who I didn't choose my diagnosis or my prognosis or my treatment plan, but it chose me. So the purpose in me telling you this is really to just tell you, like, from the most truthful place that I can, is advocating that if you're not even on this path yet of have to go to doctor visits and take medication, you don't want to be. No time soon. With insurance or not. Like, it is a expensive lifestyle to live, to try to maintain the body image you want, so that you can keep the self-esteem that you like, that you can have a endless amount of options in your closet. Like, this is a thing that is real life and that you have to grasp hold of, because if you don't pay for it now, you will later. If you don't indulge in having to invest in your health when it is mandatory, you don't want that. You want the freedom of your time, your energy, your space. Like, that is priceless. That's something that you cannot get back. Like, once your body is a certain type of way or acclimated to a certain type of thing, like insulin resistance, like diabetes, like